Namaste. This is part 6 of the story of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. When all these things were happening at Pratapgarh, Vai, and Panhala, the news that Shivaji Raje had killed Afzal Khan fell like a bomb on Vijapur. First, they did not believe in the news, and afterwards, they felt sad about the news. Afterwards, when they discussed all these things and they knew who were killed, they became very, very angry. They decided to send another chieftain, that is Siddhi Zohar from Kurnool, to defeat Shivaji Raje. He was from Karnataka area. This time, the number of soldiers and ammunition was doubled. The news of his advance reached Shivaji Raje at Miraj Fort city. He lifted the siege of the city and took shelter at Fort Panhala, which he had captured recently. He always took care that the war should be done or fought in enemy area or border of his own kingdom. This minimized the losses of Hindavi Swaraj. He arranged to get additional storage of food grains and ammunition at urgent basis. Siddhi Zohar was very, very happy to see that only hearing the news of his arrival, Shivaji Raje had made a retreat from Miraj to Panhala. Siddhi Zohar reached Panhala and started arranging a tight siege of the fort. He was not going to allow passage of any person to help Shivaji Raje on Panhala. Shivaji Raje was observing his activities from fort. When the siege was complete, Shivaji Raje and his men got confined to the area surrounded by fortifying walls. Months passed by, but Siddhi did not allow the siege to become loose. Meanwhile, Netoji Palkar, who was commander of Shivaji Raje, tried to attack the siege from outside. But Siddhi was clever. His spies gave him news of Netoji's arrival in time, and Netoji was defeated and had to make a retreat. Shivaji Raje was hopeful that soon monsoon will start and Siddhi would have to lift the siege. But his spies brought a bad news. Siddhi Zohar had started gathering dry hay from neighboring villages. He was covering the tents with the dry hay and adapting his tents for stay in monsoon. This meant that he was in no mood of leaving the place in monsoon. This worried Shivaji Raje and his nobles. They might have to surrender or try to escape. Escaping from the siege was very, very difficult task because the siege was very tight. They waited for the monsoon to start so that some solution might emerge. When monsoon was in full force, water streams started flowing down from the fort. The part of siege with these streams was difficult for surveillance. There was high level of water sound. Due to splash of water, visibility was low. Endurance of the guards, the soldiers, was waning. So the soldiers would stay in the tents and keep watch outside from inside of the tent. This was an opportunity for escape. It was not easy or risk free. If someone would see them escaping, that would have been end of their life. But no success comes without risk, and they decided to take the risk. There was no other way to free themselves from the clutch of Siddhi Johar. Shivaji Raje used different solution every time, never used the trick again. This surprised the enemies and made him successful every time. He sent his old counsel Gangadhar Pant to meet Siddhi Johar. Gangadhar Pant travelled down the fort with a white flag in his hand. All people in the siege saw this white flag. This meant that unconditional surrender was going to happen. Gangadhar Pant met Siddhi and pleaded that food and water sources on the fort were depleting and Shivaji Raje had no other option but to surrender. His only request was safety of his men on fort. Siddhi Johar agreed. When this was going to happen? The next day was the day of surrender. The council came out of Siddhi's tent and instead of going directly to fort, he met many people in Siddhi's side. Gangadhar Pant informed them that Shivaji Raje had decided to surrender and would be climbing down the fort next morning. Everybody was happy to know about this. They were tired of long period of siege, the rainy season, cold atmosphere and wanted to go back to Bijapur and meet their families. Shivaji Raje's spies were sending information to the fort that the soldiers in siege were happily drinking liquor and having special food as if it was a festival. This pleased Shivaji Raje. After sunset, he started preparation. He asked 600 Mawale soldiers from troops of Bandal Deshmukh to become ready for travel. No light was to be used. It was a night of no moon, that is, Amavasya. He explained the plan to the group leaders only. They would be using the most difficult path of roaring water streams to climb down. They have to move fast and silently. Where were they going? Only a few of them were knowing and they were not going to disclose it to all. At midnight, they extinguished all the lamps, created complete dark at the gates, and then opened the gates. They moved out and went to the west side and started climbing down. It was raining heavily, but still they kept moving bravely. Soon they reached the part of siege where many tents could be seen and guards were inside the tents. From the tents, they must be guarding, they must be keeping watch. They had to pass through this part of siege without being noticed by guards. Fortunately, God of rains helped them by pouring down water heavily and they could achieve this safely. Once they traveled a safe distance, they started running towards Vishalgarh fort. Now they had to rush. Unfortunately, after some travel, they were spotted by a small patrolling team of Siddhi. The patrolling team came to know about their escape and they suddenly moved away on their horses to inform Siddhi Johar. Shivaji Raje tried, but he could not capture the soldiers or kill them. Now, quick decision had to be made. Shivaji Raje was sitting in a palanquin and another palanquin was empty. They were having a look alike of Raje with them and he was dressed in Shivaji Raje's attire. His name was Shiva Kashid. He sat into the second palanquin and started traveling on the normal route while Shivaji Raje started traveling on another route unknown to others. Shiva Kashid was knowing that soon he is going to be captured and he would be killed. But he was ready for this sacrifice. He was ready to sacrifice his precious life for Shivaji Raje, for Hindavi Swaraj, and for Hindu Dharma. Such sacrifice was there. Such sacrifice by common people made the survival of Hindavi Swaraj a reality. When the patrolling team reached the tent of Siddhi and gave him the news, he got frustrated and angry at the same time. His relentless efforts of months would be wasted if Shivaji Raje would escape really. He was not going to allow this. He sent Siddhi Masood with 2,000 horsemen immediately and ordered him to bring Shivaji Raje dead or live. Siddhi's men rushed into the dark and soon captured a palanquin carrying Shivaji Raje. They cheered and came to Siddhi Zohar's camp with Shivaji Raje. Siddhi was happy but asked his trusted people to check if this was real Shivaji Raje or someone else. They inspected and gave instant report that he was not real Shivaji Raje but fake. Siddhi was so angry that he ordered instant death to Shiva Kashid and shouted to Siddhi Masood to rush again. Siddhi Masood started the chase again, and in the morning he could see running Shivaji Raje at some distance. They had reached Gajapur. Shivaji Raje also came to know that cavalry of enemy was soon going to catch them all. It would be end of their game. But Baji Prabhu, who was captain of Bandal troop, came forward and told him that now they need to make two parts of their troop. With 300 soldiers, he would defend the narrow pass of Gajapur, and with 300 soldiers, Shivaji Raje would move towards Vishalgarh. When Shivaji Raje would reach Fort Vishalgarh, he should blow cannons. And after getting this news that Shivaji Raje has reached safely, Baji Prabhu would allow any enemy to march through the pass. This was a very difficult decision for Shivaji Raje. For him, life of every soldier was equally important. But Baji Prabhu insisted on his plan, and Shivaji Raje had to accept the plan. Shivaji Raje rushed ahead towards Vishalgarh, and Baji Prabhu set his arrangement for defending the Gajapur pass. He asked the archers to set themselves at suitable attacking positions from where they could target approaching enemies. He made teams of soldiers to block the path and kill approaching enemies using swords, spears. Soon enemy reached their position and fierce battle started. They were killing every enemy soldier who was reaching the pass. When the front soldiers were tired, the back team would ask them to take rest and they would come forward to defend the pass. Many of them would get hurt by enemy's weapons and they would be carried away to safe place behind. Some of them would die due to wounds and drain of blood. But no one of them was coward to flee the battle. They knew that their sacrifice would keep their king and the Hindu Dharma, Hindavi Swaraj safe. The battle started in the morning and finished in the evening when they heard the sound of cannons. the sound of cannons from Vishalgarh. They were all tired, but they were waiting for this sound indicating safe arrival of Shivaji Raje on the fort. When they heard the sound, they saluted Shivaji Raje by pointing their eyes towards Vishalgarh, and their souls left their bodies. It was a supreme sacrifice which has become everlasting inspiration for all Hindus in India. This sacrifice was honored by Shivaji Raje by giving the name Pavan Khind, that is sacred pass, to the Gajapur Pass. While Baji Prabhu was fighting at Gajapur Pass, Shivaji Raje had reached the foothill of Fort Vishalgarh, and he had to fight enemy forces trying to siege that fort also. He successfully defeated enemy and entered into fort. Siddhi Masood soon reached there and started strengthening the siege of Vishalgarh. Shivaji Raje decided to escape from there at the earliest. He moved safely to Rajgarh. He had to deal with Shaiste Khan, who was now Mughal Subedar of Deccan and staying in Lal Mahal of Shivaji Raje in Pune. All over Pune, his military camp was spread. His soldiers were looting villages all over Maharashtra, and if he was not checked soon, he might have destroyed complete wealth of Hindavi Swaraj. This was the end of this part. If you want to buy this book, please call me 770-901-3232. पुण्यश्लोक छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जय. धर्मवीर छत्रपति संभाजी महाराज की जय.